Hey guys, I'm Roger Wakefield. Welcome to the show. Happy Saturday to you. As you see, I have a special guest here today, Mr. Dmitry Lipinski, Roofing Insights. If you have not seen it over on YouTube, check it out. I know that we're having problems with the broadcast right now. For some reason, I'm not going out on Facebook, and I think Mr. Colton's in there working on that right now. First of all, Dmitry, welcome to Dallas, Texas.
Thank you for having me.
You're a long way from home.
Yes, sir.
And the good thing is you've got business all around the United States. So, you come to Dallas often. You've got a lot of roofers here in Dallas. So welcome to the show. We're going to be doing a live Q&A today, Ask the Experts. And we've already shot a podcast. We've already done a video. So it's been really good because we've got to talk about roofing, siding, flooring, everything Dimitri's done, why there are a lot of roofing people that don't like him, why there's a lot of companies that don't like him. But at the end of the day, and he's doing good stuff, and that's why I wanted him on here. Tyler Foster says, good morning, Roger Wakefield. How are you today on a Saturday morning? We are fantastic. Jason Smith, good morning, sir. Good to see you. My brother, Sean Strong, in the house. Good morning, crew. That's right. Do not forget to hit the thumbs up. Like I said, we are working on our production. For some reason, we're not getting an output on Facebook. So those of y'all that are on Facebook waiting for us, sorry, you don't even hear this right now. Jason Smith says, I have a question. Did you turn in that delinquent apprentice that did shoddy plumbing in the house that didn't have a drain for the kitchen sink? You know what, Jason? I didn't. But what I did do is I told Mahogany, the lady who owned the house, I told her how to file a claim, what to do, and all that. So it's pretty good. Hopefully she does something. I've got all his information though, so it's pretty easy for me to do too. Sean Strong says, y'all check out the Discord group. Sean Strong helps run that and the subreddit, and there's the subreddit also. Jason Smith, hello, 167 AZ. Yes, we are going. And any guest on the show today? June 67 AZ or 167 AZ. Absolutely. So, Dmitry, tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Sure. Ex-contractor. I had a roofing business from 2013 to 2020. I sold it to do this full time. Today, I have 5 businesses. The biggest one is YouTube channel for roofers called Roofing Insights. I'm a consumer advocate, so I do a lot of product reviews. I do a lot of content for contractors. I have online roofing school. I have 450 students in it currently. And I also have a platform called Directory where I connect homeowners and contractors, pretty much new angels list. That's my biggest ambitious business. It's, dollar for dollar, and how many people work for me there. It's the biggest, but my call to fame is being #1 YouTube channel in the roofing space.
Yeah, that's a pretty good thing. And I actually got to meet Dmitry at Vid Summit, which is coming up here in Dallas in 6 weeks. But I met him at the one in Los Angeles 2018. So yeah, it's been really good. Any Roger on the show? Yeah, Roger finally made it in. It's working. We're doing what we do. Says it looks good and sounds good here. I like that one. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here, Dmitry. It's nice because I love bringing in other tradespeople. The reason being is, look, I understand roofing. I mean, I understand plumbing. I've done it for 43 years now. But the neat thing about it is, and it's funny because Dmitry talked about this earlier in our podcast, you've got to be a good businessman to be in any trade.
Absolutely.
And I mean, even as just a hand, a licensed plumber, whatever, you've got to be able to sell yourself. Something that if you could have gone back and done yet, you'd tell yourself, look, understand your value from the beginning. I think that's part of what's wrong with America today. A lot of people look down on tradespeople, all the tradespeople. And
do you feel like it's changing though?
I think it's getting better. I think it's getting a little bit better, not as fast as I'd like to see it happen, but yeah, I do think it is. But you always hear these people say, I can't believe that plumbers are so expensive.
Hmm.
Well, you know what? We don't do $10,000, $20,000 jobs every day like roofers do.
Sure.
And
But it's still expensive. Average
y-
ticket is average ticket.
absolutely. Yeah. An average ticket for a plumber in the United States, I'm going to say should be about $475. And you should be able to do 3 or 4 calls a day. So that's 1,500 to $2,000 a day for a plumber. That's average. A lot of really good plumbers. You know, there's a company here in town that has a saying, make your first call your last.
Hmm.
Meaning when you show up on a call,
I like that.
if you do your whole house inspection right, hey, Miss Johnson, do you understand you've got a water heater that's 20 years old? It's in your ceiling above your living room. If it ruptures, you're going to regret it. And I think it's such a great idea. Let's talk about this real quick because we kind of mentioned it last night, but we hadn't talked about it today. Should roofers offer service?
What kind of service? Like repair service?
Repair service. Yeah.
100%. I think that's where the money is. I mean, follow the search. Do you want to change your car every time you do? I mean, if you're a sucker like me, every time I go to dealership,
They want to
for
sell you
oil
a new
change.
car.
Yeah, and I'm a sucker for that. Like I change cars often, but we're supposed to maintain what we have, whether
Mhm.
it's a house, whether it's your vehicle, and dealers doing really well with that. You know, you go to dealer to service your vehicle, give it a couple years, and you'll find good deal on the floor. You're gonna buy it. So same with the roofers. 70% of roofing companies do not offer repairs. One of the reasons is because of the business structure. Unfortunately, we have too many middlemen and paper contractors who have no skin in the game. So they just subcontract the work to the crews. That's the business model for majority. And it's very expensive to have in-house repair techs. I have it in my business for all the years we've done it. We always have repair techs, and they would do 10, 15,000 a week worth of repairs, service calls, repairs, odd jobs. But I think that riches are in a niches. If you are really good at what you do, I would actually argue that instead of even starting a roofing company, it's more profitable to start gutter cleaning company or chimney cleaning company, like smaller niche, less competition. Just you have to do the search and study how many searches are there, how what's the demand. But if demand is there, like for example, gutter cleaning, nobody wants to do it, but you can charge $200-300 easy per job,
Per house, you bet.
per house, and you can do 5-6 per day. I mean, easy money, very easy money.
Mhm.
I actually have a business. It's called Ice Dam Liquidators. It's a seasonal business. I remove icicles. I'm from Minnesota. We remove icicles in the wintertime from roofs. I mean, my minimum service call I've done in last very big year for us was 2019. In 6 weeks, we did $260,000 in sales.
Wow.
Just removing icicles. I mean, you charge $500-600 an hour for 2 men working, but you can do 2-3 grand per day per crew. So the money is definitely in repairs, because you get that clientele, and when they need full repair, full replacement, still gonna call you.
Okay, that business is not going to work here in Texas. I'm going to let y'all know that y'all are thinking, hey, there's no competition here. You're right. There is none, but the business isn't going to work.
Hey, you had some ice dams 2
Yeah,
years
well,
ago.
yeah. 2 years. You may work
Unless you
once
do.
every 10 or 20 years. Chris Reeves, good to see you in here, brother. Baraza Plumbing Services. How are you doing? Josh Sanders says, good afternoon from me to you from Georgia. Welcome to the show here in Dallas, Texas. Street Rat says, good morning from Houston, Roger and crew. I like this one here. It says, no, the NDN, I guess that's your name. Just started plumbing school, and I'm wondering if it's going to be a difficult job in Houston, Texas. Look, the trades jobs are not easy, but it's so easy to make good money. And that was a neat conversation with Dimitri last night about, look, anybody that wants to make money can make money, and you can make good money. It doesn't matter where you're at. You say, is it going to be hard in Houston? Well, you know what? It's going to be just as hard in Rockwall, Texas, but it's a smaller town. There's going to be less competition. Houston's a bigger town, more competition, but you also need more plumbers. Do you think the size of a town really affects how good or bad a business can do?
I like small towns. As a matter of fact, I think smaller towns, you might be it's easier to dominate because it's smaller community. Like bigger town, bigger competition, and everybody's going there. Smaller town, if you can race to the top fast, if you're if you're hungry, if you're the hungriest kid in your category.
Now every conversation we have comes back to, look, if you're hungry.
Exactly. If you're hungry, you will go to the top. But if you're mediocre, I mean, I would rather be number one in a small town, because even in roofing, there's so many cities. You go there, you check on Google reviews for local companies, and some of them don't have more than 20, 30 reviews. I mean, if I'm in business there, I'm gonna dominate it. Give me 1 year, I'll have 100 Google reviews in a small town. And now, if anybody's Googling me, I mean, I visited a business in Mason, Iowa, 50,000 population city. The guy does business for, I want to say 15, 17 years. He does 13, 15 million a year, owns
half the city.
half the city.
No, I get it.
175 rental properties, warehouses. He has storefront. His office is on the main road. The road has like 100,000 cars per day, like some crazy numbers. So he is number one. He has
So good.
4 locations within like 2 hours, like smaller cities, but it's so good. Like 15 million a year, super profitable, owns half the city. Why not?
I love that. Brazada says, good evening here in Uganda. Man, good to have you in here. Thank you so much. Dustin Cook says, morning. Architectural sheet metal
I know this guy.
101. Absolutely, we all do. Juggernauts on the live today. Good afternoon, Roger and Dimitri. Good to see you in here, brother. Thank you for being here. Abdul Kayumi says, hey, Roger, would you consider getting a general contractor license? Because to get and bid on jobs, I guess you can't get it without it. Here in Dallas, I don't need a general contractor license, but as a roofer, that's pretty much what y'all have, is a GC license, a contractor's license, right?
There's a roofing license.
It's going
and
to
there's
a roofing too.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a specialty trade license.
Okay. And all GCs really should have a roofing license, shouldn't they?
They don't have to. I mean, if they give us a work, we'll pull a permit.
Okay.
So if GC license can have it, like they can pull a permit, but a lot of times if it's specialty product, it's on the roofers. Like if roofer does the job, we're gonna pull a permit, do everything.
Okay. If you were a general contractor in Dallas, Texas, would you do roofing also?
Probably.
It's
Why not?
Everybody wants the roofs.
Exactly.
It's good work. It
I mean,
really is.
As far as if you study the business of trades, remodelers, even big home builders, they have the smallest numbers. I visited a business up north, Philadelphia, $3 million company a year, 11 guys working, 3% profit margin compared to 10, 15 roofing. And they actually in the roofing now, and amazing, talented team. I'm like, you guys would kill it in this, because in remodeling, it's so hard. You have so many details. Like to finish the basement, I actually have done it. Like my first 2 years, I flipped 13 homes. I finished like 5, 6 basements. You have to say no to that stuff. Unless you do it every day, you'll never make
money at it.
Exactly.
Architectural sheet metal says we just do standing seam metal roofing, no other types of roofing offered. Dude, that's why I wish you were here. I've got a barn that has, of course, a corrugated tin roof. And I want to put slats on that and put on a metal roof.
But see, this is what I'm talking about. Even within the roofing industry, architectural sheet metal specialty.
Yes.
So he's going to be number one metal contractor, and that's what you can be. Tile contractor, metal contractor. You can you can open pressure washer company, just clean houses.
And I talk about that in plumbing. Specialize in slab leaks, leak detection. We did. Leak Pro. It's huge for us. But here's the thing: if you're an electrician, specialize in solar, specialize in wind turbines.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a HVAC guy, specialize in indoor air quality. If you're a roofer, man, standing seam metal roofing, that is the most beautiful roof. I'm a country boy, so I love metal roofs.
Yeah, for some areas, if it's popular, if you do that, people are going to trust you, because now also you're going to become more efficient. You'll save on materials. You'll save on labor. Lead's going to be cheaper. You'll save on everything all around.
Yes. And you're going to get referred more, because everybody who sees that roof is going to say, hey, who did this roof for you?
Exactly.
Because most people don't know anybody that specializes in something like that. So if you want to come to Wiley and build a roof on a barn, we definitely need to talk. Metal Jake says, from New Orleans, I do mostly roof repairs for the company I work for 16 years and counting. It is so hard finding people that can do more than just caulk something.
100% agree. It is hard.
You bet. So how do you train people to do roof repairs? Put them with somebody like Metal Jake and say, look, this is your specialty. We're going to give you a new apprentice every 6 months, teach them how to do what you do.
It's very hard to teach someone old ways. So we have Vinyl Siding Institute, and I remember sitting through the class, like pretty much all siding installers have to go through it. 70% of people cannot pass the test. It's because exactly what he said in Vinyl Siding Institute. It's 1 day training.
Mhm.
They teach you how to overlap it, you're not supposed to caulk it, right? So it's the water flows if you understand.
Right. If you line it up right, it does what it's supposed to do.
The same with the shingle. It's water shedding materials, but you do house wrap, right? So I did a video on Flex Seal. So Flex Seal has a video how to fix the roof, and I actually called it out. I'm like, hey, not supposed to do that. It's like caulking.
Right. Hey, Phil Swift, watch this.
So do not do this. Doesn't matter how attractive it looks on camera. Like we think that, oh, I'll just spray over. No, it doesn't work like that. Now, how do you teach it? You go through training. You go through manufacturer's training. You go through school. You need to actually take a pen and notebook and understand instructions by manufacturers, how it works. And then you go and I just came from China and I visited this big factory. They produce TPO, like rolled goods, and they have the most beautiful training area. Like I'm talking about like 40 different tables. And they said every employee, including people in the office, have to pass the test how to weld TPO. So they have little tables with the pipes. So pretty much you do the theory, how it works, and then you have to apply in a practical in a school type environment how to do it, and then you go on roof. And I think in the United States we all learn on the job sites, which is the greatest country on earth, because they will pay you while they train you.
Bet.
Like you don't have to go to school, right? But it's also a problem because who is your first teacher? If he is good, it matters. If he is good, you're going to learn good. But if he is a hack, if he likes to caulk, so now you're gonna
learn how to caulk.
Exactly.
Yeah, I completely. And look, I worked for some plumbers in the beginning. First one or two maybe okay, but then I worked for two amazing ones for a long time. And I tell everybody, I mean, when I got in the union, they're like, yeah, you don't know anything about plumbing, but I got in and worked circles around it. Then they're like, okay, you know what? You learned a little bit. Mm-hmm. So it does learn from great people. But I like that too. Product knowledge. Go to the manufacturer and get that. Roger, thanks seriously for the teaching. Joaquin Carzo, thank you very much. Stephen Meyer says, I did 10 years as a service plumber. Can you believe I'm now a roofer for the last 2 years? I want to start my own business, but don't know which one. Well, number one, Stephen, are you a master plumber? And what licensing is required where you're at? And what licensing is required for roofers, or do you know? Talking to you, the idea of owning a roofing business is really, it's a great idea. I like it. If the guy's a plumber and a roofer, what would you tell him?
I mean, depending on if you want to start a roofing company, branding is a lot. So like roofing is very competitive. You have to stand out. Like how you brand yourself matters. Like make sure you have a good solid name, wrap the vehicles. Pretty much what we talked at a podcast earlier. If you answer your phone calls immediately, if you fast responder, you will get a lot of business. It's not hard to be competitive in roofing because a lot of roofing companies, they don't get back to you right away. If you are on top of your game on communication, you will grow business pretty fast, but manage the money. It's not that complicated, but there's a lot of moving parts you need to understand.
And I like that. Look, we talked a lot about a lot of stuff during the podcast. I'm going to put a link down in here to the other YouTube channel, The Trade Talks, which is where that will be. And the good thing is you've got an opportunity, and I like that. One thing I would ask you too is think about. Sorry, Stephen, I didn't even highlight yours. One thing that I would think about is which one do you love most? Do you just really love roofing? Do you hate plumbing? Is that why you got out of it? If you hate plumbing, don't open a plumbing company.
Exactly. You have to have passion.
Trust me, Dimitri's passionate about roofing and the products and all that. If you're not passionate about it, you can't talk about it every day. That's why I think we do good in YouTube in the niches that we're in. I love plumbing. I love the trades. I'm passionate about. We're both passionate, and we talk about it and the training, the education, the knowledge, everything you need. And I think that makes all the difference in the world. Which one would you rather do? If I told you can only be a roofer, only be a plumber every day the rest of your life, which one would you choose? And I think that would have to have a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
If you hated roofing, do you think you'd be as good at it as you are? Yeah, it's hard. Metal Jake says shingles and reflash at chimneys and dormer.
Yeah, dormer.
Okay. Then reinstall it all. You'll be surprised how many roofers are scared of grabbing red and green snips and customizing a PVC if metal or PC if metal.
Yeah, 100%.
Learn to use your tools. And man, go back and think about that. You're learning to use 10 snips the right way. What are they for? What's the red? What's the green? How do you use them? And man, are you man enough to pick it up and say, hey, here's the piece we need?
But what he said is, being professional only shows like on a job site, attention to details is everything. Anybody can install a shingles, but it's how, like if you're a flooring contractor, it's how you cut around
how you cut in your molding.
So on a roofing job, it's dormers, it's your chimney flashing. It's exactly right. But also, if you're good at it, this is what you show off. This is what you advertise. You can literally do the company, and you can specialize in chimney leaks repairs. We were charging $650 per chimney for repairs, and we were done tons of them. You can literally run a coupon, say, this week's special chimney leak repair, replace that flashing. So if you're good at it, check this out. What you can do, you can train people to do chimney flashing. Like, this is your demand. Nobody knows it. It's forgotten trade. Guess what? You can teach your employees. You can open almost like a mini school. How long will it take you? 1 week? Build some props, train people. They hate those snips. Make them use that every day, 2 hours a day. Now they're going to like it. Now you advertise it. You come to your website. Here's the special. Everybody has a chimney, or 90% of homes have chimneys.
Yep.
Business opportunity is huge. And by the way, most roofs leak around the chimneys. So that's huge. So demand is there. Now it's something that you can advertise, and you can sell tons of it.
Geodude says roofing sucks, dead end job. I advise to quit unless you got in the 1 in 30 companies, slightly worth it. And Geodude, here's what I say. It's what you make it. If you want it's number one, it's not a dead end job. Any job in the trades, you have the opportunity to move up and own your own company in any trade. I promise you do. And the people that say, oh, no, everybody can't do that. Yeah, you can. I started a plumbing company with no money in my pocket. Mm-hmm. I walked out of a job on Friday, started my company on Monday. I'm almost going to say by accident. And it wasn't that hard to do. And then I grew it, sold it, and do this all the time. But if you're in a dead end job, number one, there's other companies out there where you can get opportunities at. Abdul says plumbers and electricians get their general license because it grows their business and extra money for subbing. And as a plumber, I never wanted a general contractor's license. I just wanted to do plumbing. We could sub work from others if we wanted to. Geodude says it's time you roofers quit and demand benefits and fair pay, or business will crumble. And we're talking about that. Tradespeople should make more money. Do you agree?
I think we have to raise, we have to pay more the people who are actually doing the job. One of the problems,
which is, I think, what he's talking about.
Yes, because people at the top are greedy. sales reps, which is, market will set the price. And I think with the labor shortage, we will have to adapt to it, but it's definitely happening. I mean, I remember times where people in trades were getting 10, 15 bucks an hour. Like, and now,
I remember working for that.
yeah. And now you cannot get help for less than 25, 30. I mean, the price
50.
definitely, price went up. So it's already happening. Unfortunately, it's the people at the bottom, those crews, who have to, step up and demand more. Just like, we have price increases everywhere. The problem is not only management and owners who is not willing to pay. The problem is also, if you, like, as a business owner, you're not gonna overpay. And if you have 100 crews who's willing to do it for this price, why would a business owner pay for more? But if those crews have, their self-worth and start demanding more money, they will get it.
And then again, if you've got these crews that make this much money, but you've got to go out and check them every day. Hey, did you do this right? Did you do this right? Did you clean up? Did you drag the magnet around and pick up nails? Or you've got this other guy. I've got this installer named Dimitri. Look, every time I go back, there's nothing to do. He did it all. And he did it all right. Well, now, okay, Dimitri, you're going to be my first call. You're going to be the one who gets a roof every single day, no matter what. So think about that, guys. Always outperform everybody else. It does end up showing up in your bottom line, whether you realize it or not. Architectural Sheet Metal says, let's collab. I'll come down and do it for content opportunities. Dude, you got a deal there, because I'm telling you, we're going to have fun with this one. Geodude says, also the most slippery. Yeah. How do you learn to walk on a roof?
You just have to be good with heights. You never, like,
you can't walk scared.
Good shoes. The best advice I could give you have to be a fit person.
You bet.
And I tell everyone, like, don't skip that gym, because if you're not fit person, you're not going to be safe. Stuff happens, just going up and down the ladder. You have to have balance. You have to have coordination, and you have to be good on your feet. So,
and look, guys, when he says don't skip the gym, there's more to it than that too. Push yourself away from the table. I mean, look, we went out last night. We eat semi-healthy. Okay, I did have French fries, but a grilled steak, mushrooms, veggies, stuff like that. Water. We both drank lots of water. Yeah. We might have had something else to drink too, but there was lots of water involved. My bad says, wish I had become a plumber and not a plasterer. Now I'm working in retail at family business and struggling bad. Here's what I'll tell you. Number one, if you're working in retail, learn to sell better than anybody there.
Mm-hmm.
Find out what product, when I worked at the Gap, it's like, what product do we make the most margin on? Where do we make the most money? Because that's what I want to get good at selling at. When I was a waiter, I always sold the best thing on the menu was the house special. And everybody says, you sell this because it's the most. No, I sell it because it's the best. And that's pretty much all I sold. Go ahead.
I want to answer to this. First of all, you can change your life
any day.
360. Like my first business was flooring, and I have to move from Atlanta to Minnesota. And what I did is, everybody knew me as a flooring guy, and I did a research. Roofing was way better, because flooring cannot even compare to roofing. Flooring, people are very picky. They walk on your floors. It's inside, so you have to let your crews inside. It's night and day. You finish a roofing job, people don't even go on it. So I fell in love with the roofing because it's easier, it's more profitable. And when I moved, my relatives, like my father, is like, "Are you crazy? You're a flooring guy. Why would you do roofing?" So people will judge you. But guess what? I changed it, and first year in a roofing business, I did what I did in 3 years in flooring. So plaster, like today, if I move to Arizona, I will look like, okay, what's in Arizona? Is it pool business that is in demand? Is it drywall is in demand? You have to look at the market, what's there. Like, I'm in Minnesota. I have ice dam removal company. It's actually one of the top ice dam removal companies in Minnesota, because I go for demand. I'm not going to have ice dam removal company in Dallas if I would live here. So forget about your ego. Forget about what you've done. The biggest thing in business is adapt to the market. So plasterer, I don't know if there's not enough demand, but I remember when I had a flooring business, I started it. A recession was very bad. And I have the sales rep, this woman, very smart. She would come to me one day, and she said, Demetri, I don't know what you're doing, but you have more work than anyone. And she said, because I've watched so many businesses who've been in business for 20, 30 years, the market dropped. They were not willing to drop the price, and they were not selling any jobs. And she said, I see so many people closing their doors, not willing to adapt to the market. And if they would do it, because they take pride in their price, they've done it for 20 years, but market was not the same as before. I mean, 2008, 2009 was tough. So sometimes you have to adapt or close the business. So if your business is struggling, maybe do the research. What else can you do that is similar? You'll be amazed how fast can you grow in a demand trade. And I don't know what it is for you. It could be roofing, it could be plumbing,
You
it could
bet.
be anything.
Could be a lot of different things. Metal Jake says with repairs, it's hard to train someone because we repair so many different types of roofs every day. And I agree with that. But if you get an apprentice, you get somebody to work with you, in the beginning, you're teaching them how to do it. They're watching you. Then you start letting them do it and you watch them. Then you can send them out to other jobs. After a while, it takes a little while. I get that. Architectural Sheet Metal 101 says, I will say being a businessman versus a tradesman are completely different. Installer mentality can't run a business.
100%
Man, you
agree.
are right there. So yes, as y'all see the note there, Facebook's down for streaming. We're having a lot of issues there. You are more than welcome. Denver Shower Boys in the house. The only thing I hate about plumbing is core drilling holes for pipes. And I used to love that. And actually, I was in Milwaukee Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this week at Milwaukee with their tools. And they have got a core driller coming out, be available later this year, that can core drill a 14-inch hole in concrete with batteries. And I'm telling you guys, that is a game changer. Roger Wakefield's YouTube is the best. I love it. It is. Want more info? Oh, that's Architectural Sheet Metal says roofers in Europe are referred to as a roofing plumber. Very interesting.
I did not know that.
Still dealing with water flow. Yes, indeed. Yeah, there's our Facebook problems right there. John Clark, how are you doing? Hi, just dropped in. Love your content. Much respect for people who share knowledge. I've learned a lot from you. John Clark, number one, how are you? Thank you for jumping in, man. I appreciate that. Good to see you in here. Yeah, I put in the link earlier to the Trade Talks. Guys, that's my other YouTube channel. That's where we do our podcast. And I'm telling you, they're about an hour long. They're phenomenal. I've talked to company owners that own almost $100 million a year companies. I've got people coming in that are doing almost $200 million a year. And man, then I've got the everyday tradesperson who grew up in the trade, started a company, and is making a good living. So I love it. Demetri, would you consider yourself a roofer or a businessman?
I was a tradesman before. Now I'm a businessman. I grew to be a business, like to work on a business. It was a journey. I started as first couple of years in business, you have to I did everything, and I probably have 100 people telling me, pushing me to the office, telling me that you can't do this, let us do the work. I was pushed away. I never wanted to run a business. And I realized I was good at it, but it was a journey. It's not easy.
And it's funny. And I love that you asked that question because, I sold my plumbing company a year and a half ago. But when I walk on stage at conferences and speak, I start off saying, hey, I'm Roger Wakefield. I'm just a plumber. And everybody starts laughing. And I'm like, no, seriously, I was unstopping until us the other day. I'll be unstopping them tomorrow. But look where I'm at today. Look what I'm doing. And social media has actually put both of us in that position. Metal Jake, what kind of metalwork do you do? Bulb 271602, who needs snips when you have a Sawzall? Yeah, you must be a plumber.
Must be.
No, I like that. You're right. It's not the same. Home Rapid Repair, thanks for being back in here. Thanks for all the great information. Look, I love what we get to do. Good stuff here. Michael Carrillo, Mr. Belton, how are you? Good morning, gentlemen. We are partnering with National Roofing Contractors Association to start training at the high school. So he's in Belton, Texas. It's amazing. I love what he's doing down there. With them to start training at the high school level to meet the demand. What a great time to be a roofer, man. No doubt. And Michael, the good thing is us in Texas, Dimitri and I've talked about that. There's no regulation right now, which that's not always good. They are working on trying to create regulation in Texas, but I love the idea. I've always thought it's great. Wow, you know what? If I really wanted to open my own company again and not do plumbing, I would. I'd go to work for a roofing company and say, hey, look, I understand construction. I understand the trades. I understand all this. I want to learn the business and how to do sales and go through the training and say, okay, you know what? I can walk out and sell a roof comfortably now and then start my own business.
I want to compliment that. What a great time to be a roofer. Even in 2013, 2015, you did not have abundance of information. Today, we have tons of online schools. You have tons, like if you have a desire, you will learn. I wish I have the resources that I even put out
no
today.
doubt.
That 10 years ago. So today you can build a business even with a YouTube alone. You can, if you don't have any money, you can learn so much about starting a business, about installing anything you can dream of. It is a great time to be a roofer.
Maybe you need to work on your content and license it where you can sell it to schools at a discounted rate where they can.
Well, we
teach
have
high school kids and
we
stuff.
have online roofing school. It's literally called roofing school, roofing-school.com, and it's $49 a month. You cannot do it like any cheaper. We have over 450 videos. It's more like how to actually do the business, how to set up your QuickBooks, how to advertise, everything in between. CRM.
I love that. Architectural Sheet Metal says, so for this chimney repair company, you're only doing existing homes that have had a leaky roof. New construction, they don't know how important proper chimney practices are.
Wow,
absolutely. So Michael Creo says, a rewarding career in a growing industry. Thank you for promoting the trades. Thumbs up there. Absolutely. Bulb 271602 says, as a plumber, I don't envy the guys up on the roofs. And you know what? Sometimes plumbers have to get up there. If we're putting our vents through, if we're putting our roof vents on and sealing them properly. But I'll be the first to tell you, if there's a roofer up there, I tell him, dude, I've got 6 sleeves going through the roof. There's the vents. Will you put them on? And normally if they don't have to supply them, they're like, absolutely.
It's hard work. It's definitely hard work. And you have to be prepared. I would say this, your body will get used to almost everything. Like I've installed siding for like 6 months. And in the beginning, it's hard.
Then you get used to working with your hands up over your head a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You'll get used to absolutely everything. I've done installation for like 3-4 months. Every day you drive home, we have to open windows in a car because to blow off insulation of your face. We didn't have like fans, I guess. And it's nasty job. But you get used to it. Like job is the job.
Yeah.
Whatever you have to do to provide for the family, that's what you got to do.
And you learn to do whatever it takes.
Exactly.
Abdul Kayumi says, hey, Roger, are you still a minority owner of Texas Green Plumbing? Well, yeah, I sold Texas Green Plumbing to Rescue Air. It pops up here every now and then. I'm a minority owner, so I sold it, but I maintain part ownership, a small percentage. And yeah, I love that. It's enough to keep me involved, but not enough that I have any say-so. So it makes it nice. Though I'm sure they say the same if that got called out on a Sunday for a clogged hotel stay. And that's it. Look, there's good and bad about everything. I've been up on a roof as a plumber a lot of times, carrying a sewer machine up, carrying a camera up, whatever it takes. So I'm good there. That will go away in just a second. My bad. It's not, or I'll say that. Oh, wait, Colton. Okay, guys, if you can hear me, I believe I've lost all video. All of them are gone. I have no cameras. A note popped up, said it looks like your cameras are unplugged, but yeah, I know. And I went to that one. I saw it go black, so I went other. That's why when the black popped up here, I thought, okay, it's going to go away in just a minute. Guys, if you can still hear me, okay, yes, as they can still hear us, good. Chris, thank you very much. I have no idea what's going on. We normally don't lose video ever. I have Colton in here working on everything, so we should be good. So I did that. We are now checking our inputs. We're going back through everything. Okay. Do not know what happened. I guess whenever I went to camera 4 that's turned off, it realized there wasn't a camera there, so it started looking somewhere else. So guys, we are back. If you can hear us, don't go away yet. You're right. Architectural sheet metal, the beauty of live streaming. It is what it is. Jonas, the guest today is Dmitry Lipinski. Dmitry, tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Dmitry Lipinski, owner, a YouTuber, a Roofing Insights YouTube channel, one of the biggest channels in the roofing industry, ex-owner of roofing company, sold it in 2020 after 7 years in business.
Metal Jake says, use running shoes with good rubber, nothing flat. Walk on my feet by nature. I walk on the front of my feet by nature. There you go. Now I'm 6'2", just takes practice, and everyone's balance is different.
I actually reviewed a lot of shoes, and one of the best I found, I do a lot of CrossFit. So any CrossFit shoe will be very good because they're very firm, but they designed not to be slippery at the gym. Like when you do heavy weights and, sweat a lot. So I found that your Nikes or Reeboks are one of the best shoes out there, and you cannot destroy them. A lot of roofers are wearing them.
I love it. And what about those Gators or something like that? The thing, they've got things that you can put on over your shoes for plumbers or something?
We have actual specialty shoe, Cougar Paws, they call them.
Cougar,
but,
there you go.
I don't like them. They're very bulky and they're kind of soft. I actually heard roofers complain about it. Like I have pairs of them, but I never was comfortable in them. I'm more comfortable in a Nike Metcons than on Cougar Paws.
Okay. And bulky, I mean, if you're not used to having something that big on your foot, you're walking, your feet hit each other. Yeah. You don't want to trip over your own feet on top of a roof. That's for sure.
Sure.
Sean Strong says, y'all are slacking on the thumbs up. Go hit the button. Yeah, guys, if you like what we're doing, give us a thumbs up. If you know anybody out there that needs to hear this, man, share it with a friend. Let them know what's going on. And if you've got any questions, make sure you put a Q in front of it in the comments. That way we can make sure we get to it. Because sometimes I'll just see a hello or something like that, and I'll kind of scroll by. My bad. Says, thank you very much. Honestly, both of you. Do a lot of people come up and say thank you for the content you make? You help me in the roofing industry
all the time. Absolutely. I'm very generous. Like I was the channel called Roofing Insights. So I shared how it is. I shared numbers. I have over 500 people traveling to my business. When I started doing classes, I didn't charge money for it. So I have like 50 people. I show them QuickBooks. I show them CRM. I show them inside information, how much to charge. And it's like common to active roofing business. And people appreciate when you are honest and you don't have anything to sell to them.
It makes all the difference in the world. JTAIV, as a roofer, I can't imagine the neck pain with plumbing. And I tell you what, as a plumber, I do get neck pains.
Why is that?
I think it's because you're down underneath stuff. You're constantly looking up at it, or you're up high and you're bent down, focusing on a manifold.
Have you seen how Mike Tyson trained his neck? It's like upside down and like literally, it's crazy.
I've got a thing called Iron Neck. If you hadn't seen it, I love it. I've seen it. The Halo, and I mean, man, I hook it up now, and I've got a band that pulls with about 40 pounds of pressure, and I keep my head straight and turn it both directions.
Nice.
I do the raises to get it that way. I turn around backwards and do it that way. So yes.
Sounds like you have to have it.
It's like we talk about, you got to take care of yourself.
100%.
You got to take care of yourself. It's more shoulder pain from overhead work. Brother, I get it. Insane McLean is in the house. Look at this. Yes, we do. Got a roofer in here. There's another channel. If you hadn't checked it out, jump over and check out Insane McLean. JTAIV, I'm thinking of being under sinks and stuff. Yeah, that's what got to me. Inside McLean's has been roofing since I was 12 and just hit 40. Got a few years of experience right there.
How are your knees? And everybody is who've done it for many years. They complain about joints, and you have to take care of your body. You have to stretch. Roofers are very stubborn. I started this challenge, fittest roofer, like nationwide, and was doing this since 2017, 2018. And roofing, tradesmen often think about them as a fit people because you work hard, but you stiff. You have to stretch. If you have lower back problems, you have to learn. Like, gym will only help you be better if you're not flexible, if you don't squat below parallel on a regular basis. Those knees are gotta go. So like you can get 10, 15 years more in trades if you actually work out.
And the stretching is the big part. There's a place here in town called Stretch Lab. I started going there like 3 weeks ago, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better
That sounds
already.
something for girls.
I tell you what,
Stretching
man,
is for
it
girls.
is amazing. And it's funny, it's a girl that stretches me. They're called flexologists, and mine just so happens to be a chiropractor. She's a doctor, and it's like, okay, working at the bone. Says, dang, I'm late. What? There we go. What's good, Roger and the gang? Man, got Dimitri in here today. I'll tell you what, if you have never checked out Roofing Insights, you need to go over to the YouTube channel and check it out. Hit the subscribe button, learn what's going on. It's gonna be good. Jason Smith says, is the Texas State Board going to make the master's exam computer-based? Yeah, they're going to make it all computer-based. Your tradesman, your journeyman, your masters, all your endorsements will eventually be there. That way, anything you've got to do practical on, you go do the written exam on the computer. You go down to PCI, I think's what it is, PCI, PSI. Go take the test, then you'll schedule your practical exam. Now I'm thinking, what should people watch out when doing plumbing? Just, think about safety. You constantly want to look at, is what I'm doing gonna mess up my eyes, gonna mess up my ears? Am I gonna hurt my back? Like Dimitri's talking about taking care of yourself. Don't just go grab a 200-pound piece of pipe, throw it up on your shoulder, and run down the floor. I used to do that, and I used to be able to climb a ladder with 6-inch pipe on my shoulder and slide it in 2 hangers. And nowadays I'm like, there ain't a chance. I would never do that. Don't be stupid. There you go. Bulb says, make sure the water's off. Jonas's question for Dimitri. Do you think that only roofers should do necessary modifications for solar, or can solar guys handle it?
Well, if you are a solar guy who's handling it, you need to become a roofing company. You need to become a roofer, because every time you alter a roofing system, you're voiding the warranty. I mean, you have to, in a way, you have to be better than roofing. So I recommend, if you want to do solar, you essentially have to have a roofing license. If that's what you want. A great question. So many solar guys messing up roofs. I was in California last year, and this lady has 4 units there. She rents all of them, and they install solar system. And the way she did it, like you don't buy it, but you rent it. So she's renting solar on her roof, and she cannot modify it. And it was leaking like crazy. All 4 units that she was renting, they start having leaks. So she's losing money because people say, hey, I'm not gonna leave. Like, we have mold in the ceiling now. And it was a big mess. But the solar company did not want to hire a roofing company, and she said, you cannot do it, we have to fix it. So to answer your question, a roofer should do modifications. Whoever installed that system, not to lose a warranty, you have to work with a roofer.
And look, if you're a solar company, you don't want to be penetrating the roof. You don't want to be modifying it. So yeah, I like that. What this is, you are one of the reasons I just started plumbing school here in Denmark. Thanks for all the tips and videos. You are more than welcome. Congratulations on starting school. Man, please stay in touch. Let us know how you like it. What are you enjoying about it? What's hard about it? Architectural sheet metal says, Bulb, I don't envy the plumbers. When I walk by a plumbing stack and smells what coming is out of it. Here's the thing. It's not like that all the time, guys. We can handle it. Dana White in the house says, I have a question for you. I'm trying to build a 12,000 square foot house with a crazy pool on 10 acres. Okay. Don't know what the crazy question is or what the question is. I'd like to build a 12,000 square foot house one day.
For Dana White?
From Dana White. Absolutely.
Love it.
Jace Portillo says, I'm a plumbing apprentice about to get my license in New Mexico, and your videos has helped me get an idea of how to get the ball rolling to start my plumbing business someday. You are more than welcome. Architectural Sheet Metal says, okay, yeah. Now we lost it. We got Colton in here, so I'm going to scroll past all these and get right down to here. You're right. It is a lot of square footage. Kyler Masterson says, so I'm a high school senior wondering what trade I should get into. What would you recommend? Man, what do you enjoy? Literally think about what you enjoy. Dimitri was talking a while ago about going from flooring to roofing. Man, if you think about it, that's a roof. It's a floor. It's just on top of the building. You're covering it the exact same way, just with waterproofing type materials.
Yeah.
And you've got a flat surface you're walking on, you're working on. So I love that. Think about what you enjoy. Me, I could have never been a good electrician. I hate getting shocked. Hate it. Pisses me off.
I got shocked in China last week, and it was 220. Man, like I heard, like I felt it through my heart to my stomach. I guess I was trying to plug in my fan, and it was so dumb. I was trying to pinch it, and I got shot. And 220 is no freaking joke.
No, it ain't. It ain't. Glad you made it back, brother. Metal Jake says sheet metal flashing, soldering copper, stainless, and galvanized box valleys, and customized flashing mostly. That is some neat work.
Yeah.
Your roofing can be artwork too.
Oh, 100%.
It can be
Especially
artwork.
you get in specialties. Your slates are beautiful. Your copper work, absolutely.
And that's why I want to do the standing seam roof on the barn.
Mhm.
I mean, number one, it's a barn. Nobody expects that.
Exactly.
So I think that would just be really, really cool. Joshua Olusola says, hello, I reside in Nigeria. How do I get registered as a certified HVAC maintenance technician and plumber outside of Europe? First of all, here in the United States, you've got to figure out what state you're going to move to and then find out, because each and every state is different. Just like each and every state's different for a roofer. It's different. Some you have to have licenses, some you don't. Some you've got to have a contractor's license, some just a trade license. Check whatever state you're wanting to move to or whatever country you're wanting to move to. It's different all around the world. Bill Williamson says, how do you put down roof sheathing easily?
The crane would be the easiest way to lift it. The problem with the sheeting is if you go on a ladder, for example, because it's so big, if it catches any wind, you're gonna go with it. So you have to be very careful. We've done tons of plywoods and stuff, but any kind of lift, because it's in Minnesota where we work, is we have a boom trucks delivery, so you can get a pallet and unload it there. You definitely need help. You don't want to go on the ladder. I mean, it's doable, but because of the wind, it can be very dangerous. Yes. To maintain 3-point contact with the plywood in your hand, it's challenging.
And a sky track is another good way. Instead of a crane, a sky track where you can just pick up a whole bundle, lay it up on a roof, put your first 2 or 3 panels down, build you a shelf where you can lay it up there. Then you've only got to go to there. We
also have equipped there. It's like mini trailer that raises to the.
You give those away.
Yeah, we do.
You do
remember that?
Absolutely, dude. I remember. I don't just go to conferences to speak. I go to learn, and if I can learn more about roofing or anything else, I do. I love it. Brian Grattan says, hello. I am trying to install a bidet in my toilet, but the water will not shut off. I'm turning the valve to the water supply off, but it still fills up, and I can't disconnect the old hose. Brian, what I'd recommend, see if your house has a main shutoff valve to the entire house, or if not, call the city, ask them to turn off the meter. Some cities don't want residents in their meters. I understand that. Call the city and ask them to come do it. Bill says, do you space the sheathing 1 nail width?
They have little clips. So plywood on the roof, they have like clips that
little
connect
H
them.
Clips.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what you do.
See, I pay attention. See, I learn, man. Bill says, I guess you just tack one bottom corner and adjust. No, the thing is, I mean, you can tack that one corner and adjust, but once you clip a few of these together and line it up straight, they're all going to be straight.
Yep.
Bill says, I complain about wear on my hands from the shingles. Should roofers wear gloves?
No. You
Cross
should.
calluses.
Hey, if you're a man, you should never wear gloves at the gym, and you should never wear gloves on the. I mean, there's some jobs that you better,
Yeah.
like not to get pain. Like I wear gloves if I can get very dirty, like spray foam, for
You bet.
example. You don't want like that stuff does not come off your hands. You don't want to. But besides that, calluses, you'll get used to it. You'll have rougher hands, but it's
Yeah.
fine.
Your wife may not like it, but
It's okay for a man to have rougher hands.
yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right. Bill says, I like to stretch. Guys, stretching is huge. It really is. Architectural Sheet Metal says, CrossFit has helped me to strengthen my body and has taken some of my sciatic pain away.
Same.
Yeah. It helps all
Deadlifts.
of
I
us.
have a 500-pound deadlift, and I don't have lower back pain anymore. And I don't rarely see a chiropractor. I don't know what I have to do. Maybe like twice a year to go. Used to go all the time.
I like it every now and then. I'll get a spot in my back, and it's normally not my lower back, luckily. But even once I've started stretching, it's like, God, that feels so much better. Alex says you did join Roger's Discord group. Absolutely. And guys, if y'all don't know Sean Strong, go to the Discord group, go to the subreddit, get to talk to Sean. Sean, put your social links in here if you can. And a subreddit right there. Bill says, yo, I like the cotton type, but then I find that my hands don't build a tolerance to the sun. Yeah, and you definitely want to build a tolerance. Architectural Sheet Metal says, skilled trade YouTuber question. How much of your effort and resources do you put onto your YouTube channels? I sold my company. I'm social media, marketing, all that 100% now. How about you?
Same thing. Oh, well, I sold my company to do this full time. I always say that I never turn on the camera for the sake of turning on camera. I have to do the research. I have to spend time. You give birth to the video. And because it only takes one bad video to produce for people to say, unfollow, I don't care anymore. Like, people will unfollow you once you start producing not meaningful content. So for me is I have to read, like, we're sharing a lot of energy with our audiences, and you have to refill it. So you have to study, you have to watch and consume a lot of content yourself. You have to develop yourself. Like, you cannot just teach, otherwise you're going to be empty and your audience will be tired of you. So each video is, I wake up 5:30 in the morning and I start meditating. What am I doing at 9 o'clock when the camera goes on?
You bet.
It's 24/7, 365. Every resource you have, every video that I personally I put the best of the best effort. If I have to buy something, if I have to order something, you do it ahead of time and whatever it takes.
Ryan Potter says roofing is not a real trade.
Oh, wow. I would argue, I would call a roofer as a top of the trades, because every house has a roof. If you have a bad roof, what would make it not real trade? It's one of the hardest jobs.
Here's the only thing that I would say, maybe not and I'm going to use this word, and then I'm going to come back and tell you why. Skilled trade, because you, like, almost every state, you've got to have a license for plumbing, electrical, HVAC. I get that. But you know what? You still got to have skill to get up there, install a roof,
100%.
do it right, have it not leak. And I mean, they're installing stuff guaranteed for 20, 30 years sometimes.
Exactly.
But if it's not a trade, what would you call it? Because that's where I'm like, Lennon says, roofer. When is the proper time to file a homeowner insurance claim? I have an old roof with at least 3 layers that I'm constantly having to patch due to missing shingles when we get heavy wind. I wouldn't have gone 3 layers.
Well, it's very common. Next time you have, you call your insurance agent when you have a date of loss. So what I would do, next time you have a wind-driven rain and you have a leak, you call your insurance company because they need a date of loss.
And me as a plumber, and you say it just started that date.
Exactly. So the thing about is they're going to need, there's a few things that you do as a homeowner. You have to maintain your property. Like, you cannot just neglect it and then file insurance claim. But if you have a day of loss, you say, hey, on March 24th, we have this big wind and I noticed this rain. So now it's act of God and it covers by insurance company. And when they come out, hopefully you'll get a new roof.
Bill Williamson says, Ryan Potter, have you ever done any roofing before? Guys, I've been up there with them. I've had them remove panels so we could do gas line repairs in an attic. Yeah, I think roofing's a trade. Definitely. Does a roof add value to a building? It does. Metal Jake, we should talk and collab. That's exactly what I'm into. Yeah.
Does roof add value to the building? It does, but it doesn't add as much. But bad roof removes a lot of value. If you try to sell a house with a bad roof, the potential buyer will always demand. And if home inspectors, they're gonna check out, and you will pretty much have to replace the roof if you have a bad one.
Well, and he's talking to Ryan, who said, Ryan, roofing's not a trade. He's like, wait a minute. Streets Rat says, I've been plumbing for almost 2 months. Now I got into it because of my stepdad, and I love it. I learn new things every day. Right now, my favorite thing to do is installing faucets. Love the videos. Streets Rat, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Look, getting into the trades, and to me, it doesn't matter what trade. Getting into roofing, getting into electrical, HVAC, plumbing, welding. Man, you get in, and it's such a prideful thing. Do you ever drive down the road with your family and you're like, hey,
all the time.
Man, guys,
that's what we do.
We are the most prideful people in the world. And that's why I think the trades are the greatest thing on earth. Bill says, I've done roofing HVAC as a laborer. There you go. Develop my skills informally. Can you drive over a septic field? Yes, you can. Should wear gloves when welding. Yes, there you go. You're right. Architectural sheet metal when you're welding, but yeah, definitely wear gloves.
It'd been bothering me. I have to say this. So is roofing a trade? My brother, he's 27, so he helps us with the. So he purchased archives from, I don't know from who, laborers from 30s and 40s. So it's very unique clips. You can find us if you go to Roofing Insights Facebook page, and you will see most popular videos. I mean, they've been shared like 40,000-50,000. It's a man in 30s and 40s installing the roofs. I'm talking about tiles like New York, like those Irish people, right? A lot of them are wearing suits and stuff. If you watch that video of real man carrying, I don't know, like 10, 15 clay tiles on a roof, installing them, and you can call it, not a trade. I don't know what it is, but as I'm reading those comments on those type of videos, like majority of people is like, admire the work, admire how it used to be. Drywall, the same thing. Back in the day, just one hatchet, how they were doing. It's so satisfying to watch real tradesmen put drywall, floors, roof, even paint the wall.
Mm-hmm.
If you're good at it, it's definitely a trade. Like, by popular vote, it's a trade.
Yes, I promise you it is. Matter of fact, Colton and Randy, if y'all are listening, create a poll in there. Is roofing a trade? Sean Strong says Blue Collar Boom on Instagram. There you go. And and Boom the Plumber. Boom _ correct that. The Plumber on subreddit. Cameron Cole says HVAC at the top, brother. Everybody needs air. Here's what I'm gonna tell you.
Everybody needs roof.
And I made this. Yeah, but here's the deal. You can go without a roof, you'll get wet. You can go without HVAC because you'll either get hot or cold. You cannot go without water. Prove me wrong. I'm just saying. Sid Tariq says, Roger, do you also work on gas and heating? Yeah, Sid, here's where I'm at where I'm at here in Texas. Your plumbing license also consists of natural gas, and you're tested on it. So there you go. Yes, 100%. There's only one vote, but it was yes, thank gosh. I was watching that quick to see what would come up. But yeah, here in Texas, we do natural gas. Plumbers do it from the meter to the house and all through the house. And I've had a lot of people tell me, man, that scares me to death. Why would you do that? It's like, well, it's part of our license. And here's the thing. We run water and we design water systems where it'll hold 100 PSI of water. Gas is 2 ounces, and you don't think you can put it together where it won't leak? Yeah, you can. Mr. Miyagi of Plumbing, how are you, buddy? Matt McDonough, I am doing great. How are you, sir? Michael Moran says, Roofing Insights. Brother is in the house. Sean
What's
Strong
the name
says,
of the channel?
yeah, Roofing Insights. Go check it out. Actually, Colton or Randy are in here. If y'all want to put a link to Roofing Insights in here, go ahead and do that. Sean Strong says, I think if anyone disagrees with the guest, you can do so respectfully. There you go. Please don't come in here and say your job isn't legit. You don't have a trade. Be respectful when you disagree.
I have a
Completely agree.
I have a thick skin. I don't think you can offend me.
Yeah.
I've been called worse.
I wasn't worried about you too much. So if somebody wanted to learn how to be a roofer, so we got some general contractors in here, and they're like, I've thought about opening roofing. I've thought about opening a whole new infinity where I do roofing too. How can they learn? I know you've got some schools, you've got some online training. How would just a general contractor go about learning what he needs to know to open a roofing company?
Well, a roofing company is a learning business. That's basic. Like it's your accounting, it's your CRM, it's how you manage people, how you place order. That's one part. But learning the trade itself, start with the material. Like, for example, if you want to be a shingle company, go to shingle company. They will help you. They'll send the rep, like the same with the siding, the same with if you want to install, like we have a product called Euroshield. It's a rubber roofing. So if you want to install rubber shingles, they will come to you. They will teach you how to install it. They'll build, you can build a prop with them and teach your crew about specifics. The same goes for metal. We have metal shingles. If you want to do sheet metal, standing seam, they will teach you. Manufacturer will train you. We have a company in Michigan, Duralast. So Duralast is a flat material. Like they will fly you in to the factory to see how it's made, and they have a training there. So pretty much, if you know what products you like, they will teach you and help you train your people in that product. The same even goes with accessories. We have, vents company. They will tell you why their vents are the best and how to install them. Soffits, gutters, you name it. So if you know the products, you can learn from those manufacturers and collaborate with them on training.
And look, a lot of infinities are similar. As a plumber, electrician, HVAC roofer, you've got to understand bookkeeping. You've got to understand marketing. Dimitri and I both, in the beginning, we did whatever we could for free. I got out and networked. I would not drive by a real estate office without walking in saying, "Hey, I'm Roger. I've got a plumbing company. I would like to, come by and talk to your real estate agents, teach them about plumbing, teach them about sewer water test, teach them about slab leaks, leak detection, all this." And that's a great way to get out for free. Put yourself in front of real estate agents and they're asking questions. And when you can be the guy that answers them, you become their trusted advisor. And man, when you can do stuff like that, now they've got somebody they can call. And I love that.
One more thing. So there's many states and there's many ways to do the same thing. I'll give you an example. I did a YouTube video. What goes first? So there's two accessories. It's on the edge of the roof. It's gutter apron or drip edge. And then there's ice and water barriers, the first underlayment that goes on the roof. So you have ice and water barrier, then you have synthetic felt paper, then shingles goes in. And I've done it because I fly every week somewhere. So I know how they install in Philadelphia, in Chicago, California. So we have this greatest debate. What goes first, drip edge or ice and water? And if you really think about it, you can do it both ways. And the answer is 50-50 or 60-40. Like, just think about that. It's the most important component. It's all the way at the front. And people in Chicago and people in Philadelphia are going to do a difference. Something to do with the snow, with the freeze. And there's a permitting. So, like, I interviewed people for that. And the way you learn how to actually do something, you go to local code, you ask your city what code they adopted. So in Chicago, they teach you to do this way. And roofers will say, I don't agree with it, but you have to do it. And then you go to a roofing manufacturer. Like, for example, if you install GAF, JF, or Owens Corning, one manufacturer can tell you to do it this way. So you have to do the business the way they want you to do. So that's how you learn. You learn from materials and your authorities, and then, but you have to study. You cannot be arrogant about those things
and just assume you know everything.
Exactly.
Yes. And each city too can have its own addendums.
Exactly.
Meaning we adopted this code, especially in plumbing. We adopted this code, but these are our addendums. Here's what we've changed about it.
But this is how you win jobs. When you are curious about that, people gonna know like that you're the guy who knows more than others, because they're gonna ask you and next roofer the same question. And if you are educated and you give them the educated answer, they're gonna go with you because they trust you.
Or it's how you lose money on jobs because you didn't study it.
Exactly.
And guys, that's not a good way to do it. Yeah.
And you can't wing it, because they're going to watch your Roofing Insights video on that topic, and they're going to be more educated than you are.
Yeah. And think about it too. You put it backwards because this is the way you've done it. And you do 3 houses and you're getting them all inspected the next day. And the inspector comes out and says, hey, you need to pull this and change this all around.
Exactly.
How much is that going to cost you?
Yeah.
You know, to cover yourself. Let me tell you. Sid says, I'm about to finish my gas apprenticeship. Hi from the UK. Good to see you and congratulations. I think that's amazing. Okay, so guys, there's the link right there. Is that what your channel is? Dimitri Lipinski?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I just always remembered his Roofing Insights. Yeah. I saw that and it's like, wait, I don't remember seeing his name.
I think his name was, I think I changed it to my name.
And you know, you may have. I've changed mine to Roger Wakefield now. So it is what it is. Sean Strong, there is the link to the Discord group. Sean lives in Discord, so y'all go check him out over there. Sean says, we've got channels to ask for help. Crazy thing you found and for showing off work you've done. We've also got a channel for you to plug your own thing. Come join us. Guys, that's about the Discord group. We love seeing good pictures, bad pictures. Do you do anything on Discord?
No.
What we like about Discord, and the subreddit's been really good for me, we can get people to go take pictures of work that either they've done or they've stumbled upon or something like that, and good or bad. But also like KLL here, you get people in that need help fixing something. They can post a picture and say, hey, I don't know what valve this is. And you've normally got 3 or 4 plumbers that'll jump in and say, hey, that's a Delta. And here's what it is. KLL, how are you doing? Good to see you in here. Hi, I have a flat roof. What do you look for to inspect for any problems? Holes.
Holes, cracks, flashing, same thing. Just go around penetrations, pipes, anything that sticks out, units. A lot of times on the roofs, you're gonna have HVAC units. That's usually the problems. I mean, if it's big flat area, just look for cuts. Make sure nothing is, like tree did not fall, and like small hole, like a nail or rip from the branch can actually create a lot of damage. But usually it's stuff you don't see. It's around the pipe, it's around the pipe boot, it's that kind of stuff.
I used to love, look, I've done a lot of commercial work, and I used to love like being out at the airport and you see the roofers come in and fold everything in around the curbs to set the air handlers on, and it's like, man, this is just cool stuff. So I've always enjoyed watching it. Bill Williams says it's not fair, guys. No one said your job is not legit. Here's the deal, guys. Look, I definitely think roofing is a trade. That's why I invited Dimitri down. And to me, it's a good trade because, to be honest, if I were getting out of high school today and I knew that I wanted to work for myself, I could open a roofing company a lot faster than I could open a plumbing company. And I mean, a lot faster. And there's a lot of resources online where I could learn to do it the right way. And then after that, coaches, consultants, best practice groups, what can you do to get in and learn to do things better?
Well, the question is, if it's not a trade, how would you describe it?
No, and I love it. That's why I always turn that around. Kellogg says, how what are advantages versus disadvantages on a flat roof? I think at our point, it doesn't matter. It's what's installed. When you're a tradesperson coming out, do you care if the roof's flat or I mean, it's going to be different materials.
It's completely, well, we have a flat roofers and we have residential roofers. It's completely different material. So actually, flat roof, it's we have two industries in one. Like, as a matter of fact, like, I came from China. In China, it's called waterproofing industry, and waterproofing expo versus roofing expo. So flat roofs are waterproofing material. It's all like, you almost like it, because you're walking on it. As a matter of fact, roofers often make jokes about flat roofers, who is real, who is not, because flat roofers walk on a flat surface. They're not actually on the roofs, but it's almost like you work in, as a matter of fact, it's similar material to what pool guys are using. It's liners. So you have to waterproof the roof, because sometimes you'll have standing water,
Mhm.
ponding water on it. And if you think about like huge warehousing, like, your Amazon,
Oh, those roofs
mess-
fill up. I've
it-
flood tested a bunch of them.
Exactly. So like, it's a waterproofing business versus roofing business. So you have two different, like, as a matter of fact, shingles, what people don't know, it's not waterproofing material, it's water shedding. Shingles, if you pressure washer upstream on the roof shingles and it doesn't have good underlayment, it will leak. That's why the hurricanes and stuff, they will get in. So that's why we cannot install shingles in less than 212 pitch. Like, 212 is minimum. Some municipalities will be 312. So you have to have a steep roof in order to install shingles to shed the water away. Where flat roofs, it's, you have to weld everything, you have to test everything, and it's a waterproofing material,
I love that.
membranes.
See, guys, we all learned something new today from a roofer who, in my opinion, is a tradesman. So, Cody Jonigan says, cozy Kohler or metal vent pipe flashing for a vent roof. What do you prefer?
What
The-
do you?
Cozy collar, the PVC vent pipes or a metal vent?
Well, we have a PVC. It's definitely metal, but we have boots around
The rubber
it.
booter on it.
I just came from China, and what you're gonna see, there was a very big international roofing expo in China, and I see a lot of tons of very cool, unique kind of pipe boots. I have very cool videos I can share with you, but pretty much they make now a lot of solar accessories. So if you have a flat roof, now you have accessories to penetrate the roof with a circle around it to weld it, to make sure it's pretty much bulletproof. It will never leak. So instead of doing everything manually, so pretty much if you have like, I prefer the metal pipe, but you have to have a boot that slides over it and weld it on a flat roof to existing one. So you're welding the accessories, but the pipe, I always prefer anything metal, like solid.
I love that. Architectural sheet metal says metal should not be in contact with the wood. I put an 8-inch strip on underneath so the drip edge gets sandwiched between two layers, much like flat roofing.
That's, by the way, in my video about what goes first, number one, like the conclusion of the video is the best practice is to sandwich it. And many contractors are doing it. So they install ice and water, then drip edge, and they do strip of ice and water above it. Now it's a little extra money. And again, this is how you sell yourself to the homeowner. You tell them that this is the extra step you do. That's why your bid is a little bit higher, because of those little details. But I agree with it 100%.
And then if you're going to tell them that, take video of it or picture of it and say, see, remember when I told you this earlier, this was higher. This is why, this is what it looks like.
Agree.
And man, a little stuff like that is huge. There's nothing wrong with being one of the most expensive roofers in town or plumbers in town. But once you get that job, now it's a presentation. Now you're performing. Do things above and beyond. Metal roofing condensates. Do you have to prepare for that?
No, not really.
Working to the bone says I've done roofing, siding, and painted houses, drywall, form buildings, machine operator, labor boss, landscaping, and much more. I'm now a plumber's apprentice. Is roofing a trade? I would say yes, but however, not required education. Well, there is a required education. There's not required education in plumbing, but you've got to work as an apprentice.
Yeah.
And roofing is the same way. You're not just going to walk on a job and stand there and through osmosis absorb all the knowledge. You've got to work and get your hands on it and pop that string line and learn how to put it in straight.
We have a lot of certifications. So like most companies, you will have you can become company certified. So I've done like a lot of trainings how to inspect the roof. Like we have inspection courses, we have trade courses, we have manufacturers courses. So you still have to educate yourself. It's certificates. It's not a school, but there's definitely education there.
I love it. And I do think it's a trade. Metal Jake says flat roof, check seams with something flat. If you can easily shove it in, it needs resealing. Also look for fish mouths. So where it starts to peel open. Correct?
Yes.
Beautiful. Architectural Sheet Metal says, I want to create an association where like-minded businesses can get together to build up our local industry. What do you think? I love it. I've always wanted to start a new networking company business. You know, I'm involved with Master Networks, but I've always wanted to start one that is nothing but tradespeople. And you've got a plumber, a roofer, an electrician, and yes, I call a roofer a tradesperson.
Yeah.
A window cleaner, a landscaper, a handyman. Get all these different people together, because there's a lot of people that may call the handyman and say, hey, can you install a water heater? He's like, no, but I got a plumber. Hey, can you patch my roof? No, but I've got a roofer that does service. And I've always thought a good networking group like that would be amazing. So I like that idea. Architectural Sheet Metal also says flat has its own set of problems. Waterproof versus watershed are two completely different worlds. Yeah. I teach two different styles of standing seam, watershed details versus waterproof details. BA says, do you have an opinion on call groups like Angie's List? There you go. I'm going to go take a break.
So
go ahead. How was Angie's List when you first started with it?
I loved it. It built my business from 2013 to 2018. It was the best. And then Home Advisor took over, ruined it. Hate Home Advisor. Actually been featured in a lot of news. If you do this, go to YouTube, type in Home Advisor complaints, you'll see my face all over. I've called them out. I've recorded phone calls. They offered me money to take my videos down, and I wouldn't do it. But I hate Home Advisor with a passion. They just got fined by FTC $7.2 million. They're going down, and we've done a lot of content on them. So they're just not ethical. 95% of contractors would not recommend them. They're not ethical. They're a cancer. They have to go away.
So they own Angie.
Yeah.
What's Angie now?
Yeah.
So guys, remember that.
And they ruined it.
They're changing names and doing stuff to make you think, oh, this is a whole new
It used
company.
to be Service Magic back in the day. They changed.
Well, that's been a while.
Yeah.
Metal Jake says water always travels downhill. I'm a plumber. I will tell you different, because we defy gravity. We know how to pump it up. Water always travels downhill. Never seal bottom of anything on pitch. You'll trap water.
Exactly. It's funny you said it, because I took a commercial for Flex Seal and I said, do not do it. What's wrong with this commercial? So they have this prop and they show, like, they seal around the shingle. And I made a video. I was like, you don't do
that. Yeah.
And a lot of homeowners came in and hating is like, yeah, but we don't want to hire a roofer for $500. You're biased. Like, it's a $20 can, and if it works, it works. But that's what he said. It's not gonna work, because if you have a problem in that spot, the water will trap somewhere, and not a good idea.
Completely agree.
I love the product though, and I even say, like, product is good, but maybe use it on the boat or on the.
Sean Strong says, if you got a question, guys, now's the time to ask him. Got about 10 minutes left. We're actually down to about 6 minutes of show left. If you got a question that doesn't get answered, you can always ask it in the Discord group. Yes, indeed. And Working to the Bone says, I'm at college. Oh, college education. No, I get that. But look, here in the United States, none of the trades take a college education. I got into plumbing by going to work for a plumbing company. Meaning I went out, walked in, applied for them. They hired me. I was taken there by a plumber. So, I mean, I pretty much knew I had the job, but that's how I learned to plumb, working next to a plumber. So there's different ways you can learn. You can learn open shop way like that. You know, Dimitri's a roofer. Hey, Dimitri, pick me up every day. We're going to go do roofs. I'm going to learn everything he does by watching him do it, and hopefully letting me do it, and him watching me and say, hey, you're doing that right, or hitting me in the head and say, hey, you're doing that wrong. There's different ways to learn. But then again, there's the union. You can join it, and mainly in plumbing, it's mainly commercial, but they do some residential. But you can get in and learn different ways to do it. What do you think the best way is to learn roofing? Just go to work for a roofing company and jump in and learn.
I always say it's the best country in the world. In this country, they pay you while they teach you. You can get a job. Like, just say, I want to do this, stick with it for a couple of months. I mean, you want to paint walls, go work for a painting company. They will teach you tricks, techniques, and then 6 months in, you can open your business because you will know everything to know about it. You want drywall, you want to be in pool business. The trade does not matter. It's what you want to do, what excites you. What do you think you like, and they'll pay you while they teach you, which is insane. I mean,
Phenomenal.
$2 trillion is how much our educational system is.
Student debt.
$2 trillion. It's insanity. And now you have trades that you get paid to learn. And why would you go to college? Like, I think college is a scam at that point.
And there's a million unfilled trades jobs across the U.S. right now.
Exactly.
How many companies do you know that don't need any roofers at all? There's not many, are there?
No.
Everybody needs
hiring.
roofers. Yes, everybody's hiring. Every trade is hiring.
Exactly.
And guys, I mean, I'm just telling you,
Demand is huge.
The ones that get in right now are going to be the entrepreneurs in the future. We got just a few more minutes. Let me run through these here last few questions real quick. Working to the Bone says, I'm good friends with almost every trade on my job site. I speak Spanish, so I do a lot of interpretation for the siders, drywallers, framers, roofers, and landscapers. I see all of them as trades. Amen, brother.
Amen.
Where do you buy clothes for plumbing? Plumbing and roofing, I wear Wranglers. You can, there are, Carhartt has trade clothes. Milwaukee. I'll tell you what, the other day when I was in Milwaukee, they gave me a pair of pants and I actually wore them Tuesday. And I was like, man, these are comfortable. And I always work in jeans, but I really did enjoy these. Roofers, just blue jeans.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes. Sean Strong says, funny how you can be taught to do a job by someone who's already doing it. Almost like a degree isn't really necessary for most jobs. Amen.
I want to answer to that.
Which one?
Like to that. The reason is your education will help you be better. So if you have to learn how to learn. So if you go to college, like I went to college and I use everything, and I use because I have a college degree, it was easier to pass the test. You have to learn how to
learn how to study,
learn how to complete something, because you will have people say that, oh, you don't need college, you don't need this, you didn't. Yes, you do. You sometimes, I know men don't like it, but you have to read instructions. You will be buying, for you it's probably like coolers, new products coming out, installation instructions. Don't wing it.
New tools, new everything.
Exactly.
Working to the Bone says the only workers on the job I don't see as tradespeople are the general contractor and cleaners. And you're right, most general contractors used to be in the trade. Jose Portillo says, I got into the plumbing trade by getting into the local 412 plumbers and pipe fitters, and I have $0 in student loans. You just can't beat it. And and here's what's good about what you're doing, Jose. You've also got a pension, you've got insurance, you've got things that a lot of people going to college, they're not going to have anytime soon. So congratulations to you.
Looks like you're getting some colors for the barn.
Yeah. And Architectural Sheet Metal says, thanks, guys. It's been an awesome live stream. Looking forward to meeting you guys someday. I'll send you some color options for the barn. Love it, brother. So, Dimitri, tell everybody where they can contact you if they want to talk to you, follow you. Definitely Roofing Insights. Before we do that, let's jump into the poll. Sure. We got 34 votes. And 94% say yes, roofing is a trade. So there's probably 2 in there that said no. We booted y'all off the channel. No, I'm joking. Look, to me, if you're a man that you take on a career, and I say man or woman, takes on a career to where you work with your hands, you build things, you fix things, you take care of people, to me, man, that's a trade. You're
a skilled trade.
You bet. You're doing fantastic. So go ahead. Tell everybody where they can get in touch with you, and I'll jump back in here and close it out.
Roofing Insights on the YouTube channel. I do have a website, dmitrylipinski.com, if anyone wants to book a call with me or use me for anything. And my biggest platform is called directory.com. It's a new angels list. I recommend about 450 roofers. We do very deep background check. We check credit, we check background. You have to have at least 20 reviews. We recommend plumbers, so homeowners come to us and ask for a recommendation. We back every recommendation with a $20,000 guarantee. If homeowner is, if you messed up the job and you cannot fix it, we're gonna write a check to the homeowner. We don't give better recommendations, and that's my biggest business. That's what I'm doing now. That's the biggest gap and the biggest problem in the roofing industry and in the trades in general, to connect homeowner and contractors. We don't have a household name. Like Home Advisor is not fixing it, Angels List is not fixing it, and it's built by tradesmen, and very proud of it.
Working at the Bone says, sure, the plumbing I'm learning is 95% from my journeyman. Do have to go to an apprenticeship program for 4 years. Most of that's learning code. And you'll learn a lot of things in school. I was told before I got in the union, always ask the apprentices how they would do it, because they're learning new things. Working at the Bone, thank you so much. Love you, brother. Glad you are here. And Matthew McDonough says, you guys are awesome. We love what we do. Dimitri is a cool guy. You know what? He is. Love hanging out with him. There's a link to his YouTube channel again. And Cody Janigan, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. You're welcome. And Michael Morgan says, website and app in your app store. There you go. Guys, thank y'all for being here. Number one, this is great. Dimitri, I appreciate you coming down.
Absolutely.
I put a link in there earlier to the Trade Talks. Search the Trade Talks 2.0. That's our new YouTube channel. That's where all these podcasts are going to be. And man, we had a lot of fun sitting in there and talking about the trades and a lot of different things about it. So thank you all for being here. Happy Saturday to you. I'm Roger Wakefield, lead AP, helping you make more money in the trades. It is what it is.
Before some done, subscribe, don't worry.
Can you ban people
Yeah, you can.
on YouTube?
Yeah.
Ban user?
Yeah, literally while they're commenting, you can go ahead and click on it.
No, but
from
like in
channel.
general, like on the regular YouTube videos, like if they're commenting.
Yeah, just go in where the three dots are. Click. You can hide them.
Yeah. I remember now.
And yeah, it's a great thing to do because they don't even know they're hidden.
Really? But will they see their comment?
They'll see theirs, so they think they're doing good. So they'll just keep coming back, watching and commenting. So you're getting credit for it. Yeah, I love it. I love it.
But other people will see it?
They won't see their comment. When you hide it,
Just that person.
they see it. Like if I hide his comment, he sees it. He goes in, he sees it.
But he will not see it.
He won't see it.
Nobody else will.
Genius. That's why.
It's cool, isn't it?
Not notified.
That's
Yeah,
see, like on the
they'll get a
on the
notification up.
Facebook, they can't do it. Like on the Facebook, they don't see that.
Yeah.
For those clowns.
I wish Facebook did. Actually, no, I don't.
And the Tesla roof is the one I meant to ask you about. I forgot all about it.
Which one?
The Tesla solar roof.
So I have a voiceover. I have a lady who does my scripts. Like you click on that video on the Tesla. So my process is she does investigation, and then another.
What's up, buddy?
Add some sound.
I don't know that cat in here.
That's good.